I think I traveled through about 10 layers of the matrix last night. Quite wild. We're going to talk about it, mastering lucid dreaming, and what can you achieve when you gather data in the dream state. Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? So let's just jump right into the experience that I had. And I woke up this morning kind of late, actually. It was a little bit after 10 o'clock, and I was extremely tired. And I wonder if it has something to do with the dream that I had, because I was in the dream just, well, we'll get into it in a second. But I wanted to ask you, have you gone to ketowithleak.com yet? You've probably heard of the ketogenic diet. It's one of the most popular ways to lose weight because it's healthy, it's effective, it does wonders to boost your metabolism and elevate your energy also. The problem is it's one of the most difficult diets to maintain because you have to get rid of your favorite carbs like breads, pastas, and fruits. Now, if you've been wanting to try the keto diet, but you haven't found the time, I have the solution for you. I've been taking 2 scoops of Keto Elevate a day. I notice results right away, whether I'm going biking or hiking. This stuff is awesome. It uses the highest quality C8 MCT oil available. Add a scoop to any drink, and you'll be giving your body the active ingredients it needs to support a ketogenic state. Now, if you get yourself a bag of Keto Elevate today, as an added bonus, you get free shipping, free VIP life, health, and fitness coaching, as well as a free e-report on the top 14 ketogenic foods. You will also be feeding a hungry child. For every order of Keto Elevate today, a nutritious meal will be donated to a hungry child in your honor. Click the link, ketowithleak.com, get the 51% discount, get the free shipping, get the free VIP access, and continue to be the change the world needs to see. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Very interesting. I will share with you what I remember, and it's quite, it's still embedded in my mind because it was just about an hour ago. So in the dream, I remember being in this nice house. I'm with friends, and things are going great. And then all of a sudden, somebody shows up at the house that owns the house, and that person doesn't want me there. So I kind of hide out in the house for a bit, and then I find a way to get out, and I get out through like this very interesting complex of stairs and jumping over rail systems and jumping out of the house through the window, through trees, etc. But I notice when I have these dreams, I can fly, I can get around great via traveling in the air. But sometimes when I'm attempting to get away or move into another scene or location, I have to like pull myself. So I'll be flying, but I'll have to like capture onto a rail and then grab that rail and just keep pulling. Have you ever noticed that? Do you have dreams where you can't run as fast as you want and it seems like something's pulling you back? And how many of you have dreams where you can fly, but you have to fly and use energy? So it's not just like going from point A to point B with no energy whatsoever. You literally have to use energy to travel to these other parts. Well, in this dream, it's like a matrix dream. I managed to get out of the house. I get to safety. And then I end up in another building. And then I end up in this building, and it's like I'm back in college, and I'm back in school, and then I'm there, and and then I'm like, okay, this is boring. I want to go. So I say, I'm out of here. And then there's like the superintendent there, somebody that doesn't want me to leave. So she's like, okay, well, we'll be right there. We'll get you. And I managed to travel out of, like, I get out of the school, and there's all these different levels and, basements, et cetera, floors underground. But then the floors aren't even underground anymore. They're actually outside, but we're way above. So I managed to get out of the school, and then I traveled down multiple stories. I'm outside, and there's all these major fences around me. And then people start coming after me. And I'm like, wait a second, I got to find a way to get out of here. So I find a way to get over the fences, right? And I get out of that area. But I notice each time I get to a new location, I have to travel down to get to that location. And then there's somebody or someone that's coming after me. So I get out of this huge building that seems like a school of some type. And then when I get out of there, I'm in this city complex, like this downtown city complex. I'm walking through the streets. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of buildings, and there's people that are still coming after me. So I have to find a way to slip through, get into another building. And then I get into this other facility. And I remember going up and down all these different stairways and through these different halls. And each time I get into a new location, there's a new set of people that are after me. So now I'm in like this labyrinth of stairs and hallways in this major building, this massive building, like skyscraper. I manage to get through there, and then I'm in this open pavilion in a mall. I'm like in this huge mall in this open pavilion, and there's lots of escalators and there's railing, so you can walk up to the railing and you can look down all the different floors and see all the different people. And then there's like security guards that start coming after me. So I'm like, okay, check this out. So I just start jumping off of the, I jump off of floors, and I'm like floating and flying to my next location. But it's not like flying upwards. It's kind of like floating down and then getting where I need to go. But then as I'm trying to run, it's almost like I'm stuck in quicksand. So I have to pull myself with a railing or whatever it is, an edge to get out of there. I get out of the mall, and then I'm in another city complex. It's like downtown. It's later at night. There's like not really dilapidated, but older buildings and apartment complexes around me. And as I'm going through these different layers and levels and city complexes and structures and mazes, it's just like one after the other after the other. And each time I go down so much further in elevation, it appears, but then I get kind of brought back up or back out into nature. So I'm attempting to decipher this dream and what it actually meant. And it seems like I'm shifting through all these different layers of information and adversaries through my mind and attempting to reach clear ground. And I remember, going back to the first location, everything's great. Everything's going fine there. And then all of a sudden something shows up that doesn't want me there, some type of presence. So maybe it's my mind picking up on an opposing faction, or what I appear to be an opposing faction. And I have to find nature. I have to get out of the facility. So you get out, you find nature, and then more happens, just layers after layers after layers. And the reason I feel like this was the Matrix is because when you go through these different levels, it's almost as if something's holding you back. Something's trying to keep you, but you're breaking out of it into another layer of data sets, more information. It's like an ascension process. But to get through it, you have to go and shift through all these systems of control. Old school. That's what I'm thinking of. Old school. Breaking out of the old school into a new way of thinking and traveling. It's like I almost saw the old system that's around us that is attempting to hang on and hold on to something wither away, not fall apart, but just kind of go away and travel through that. Definitely felt like the Matrix. I mean, that was very matrixy. And what about you? Do you have dreams where you will fly around and you kind of like float and you have to push like this with your arms sometimes to fly, and then it'll bring you up and you can go really far, but it's still kind of physical in the sense that you have to put energy into it. And then when I woke up being so tired, that was really bizarre. I woke up a couple hours before that dream and I was more awake then. There's a lot to these dreams, folks. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to hear what you think and tell us about your dreams. Hit the bell, be well, check out that Keto Elevate, and be the change the world needs to see. Nanny, nanny.